Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Steven, aka Stevie Doe, and right now I am bringing to you a very sad story that I just read on CNN, the app. Pretty useful. I just read about this brother and sister. Well, the brother, who's 12 years old, stabbed his 8-year-old sister in Calaveras, California. They were home alone. And first thing that comes to mind is the brother and sister. I don't know why the brother would stab the sister to death, and one of the things that comes to mind is the brother. I'd assume that he's mentally sick. They didn't really like talk about if he was sick or not in the head, mentally. But one of the things is that he's 12 years old, taking care of his 8-year-old sister, I bet. I was home alone since I was about probably 8 or 10 years old. I was always alone when I was a kid. I never had my dad. Mom worked about 2 or 3 jobs at a time at one point, and I was home alone much of the time. But then again, I was being taken care of by my aunt about half the time, and the other half I was probably home alone. I was home alone probably since I was 6th grade until now. But, I was young. I didn't have any brothers or sisters. I would never think of stabbing someone, a younger person. I would never think of it. That'd be over the top. I'd stab myself before I'd stab someone else. But, I hear about the story and I'm thinking, wow, the parents of these two kids are devastated. One, their little boy, 12 years old, is a killer. Two, the little girl, 8 years old, she's dead, A girl, 8 years old, had her whole life ahead of her, died because of her brother. I'm assuming that the brother was mentally sick, or two, they were playing around and he didn't know what he was doing at the time and just, did the inevitable, stabbed his little sister accidentally. That's what I believe. And right now the little boy's, in jail or, surrounded by cops right now thinking the little boy's crazy. I'm assuming he was just playing around. Hopefully he was just playing around, but it's extremely sad to see a little girl, 8 years old, dead, had her whole life ahead of her, and ends up dying. And another part of the story is that there was an intruder in the house where the girl was lying down, suffering from her wounds. The intruder was seen by the 12-year-old leaving the house, where the intruder could have called an ambulance to help them out. Maybe she could have been saved. I didn't read about how serious her wounds were. They were probably serious because she ended up dying a few minutes later, but something could have been done by this intruder, who is a 6 foot tall white male seen running from the house. Something could have been done. I believe that she could have been helped. I don't know if she could have been saved, but this 12-year-old and this girl's parents did have to be devastated right now because of what happened with their kids. Honestly, when I have kids and that would happen to me, I'd be breathless. I wouldn't have the air to breathe, because I can't imagine any of my family members who are already grown dying. My cousin, I love that guy to death. He's 22, 21, both of them. I love them to death. Although I may not talk to them a lot, I love them. I would never want to see them die, even though they've lived longer than this 8-year-old girl. She had so much ahead of her. Everybody does. Everybody that's alive, either you're 10 or you're 60, you still got time ahead of you that you have to live through. And to see this, it's just devastating to hear about. You know, it's just another thing wrong with this world. I mean, I know nobody's perfect, but I mean, just don't do some drastic things that end up costing everybody, their other people, their lives. It's just really stupid in my opinion. As anybody else would say, it's stupid. Breathtaking, very devastating. Well, it's just really bad, obviously. I'm Steven, aka Stevie Doe. It is Mother's Day. I'm gonna leave it on a good note, somewhat of a good note, after delivering this bad report, news, vlog, blog, whatever you want to call it. I have a Bulls hat, just got this bitch yesterday. Got a Coke shirt, not advertising or nothing, just wearing it. Found it in my drawer. Said fuck it. Hope you guys have a good Mother's Day. This video is going on for 6 minutes, the longest video I've ever made. And as usual, I want to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed, everybody that has viewed. I want more people to subscribe, but at the same time, I've got to entertain you guys more, do whatever I have to do to get a broader, bigger audience. Comment, leave me feedback, like the video, tell your friends, subscribe to me, all that good stuff. My Knicks just lost yesterday. I know I'm not a Bulls fan, but I want the Bulls to win over the Heat. I believe if the Knicks don't win it, the Bulls deserve to win it, knowing they didn't have Derrick Rose this whole season and still came out in the playoffs, in the second round. So, I'm Steven, aka Stevie Doe, and this is a 7-minute video. I am out. Peace.